Travelers and explorers, legends and warriors. You are listening to the Chronicles of Growth podcast, where we cover the stories, secrets, and strategies you need to take your business to that next level. If you're a new listener, welcome, welcome. If you're a veteran returning, welcome back. As growth warriors, be reminded we never settle. And it is the hallmark of excellence to ask, yes, we have done well, but how might we do better? Today in the studio with me is a true growth legend. She is a creator, tech entrepreneur, and SaaS marketer. She is passionate about tech education and communities for growth. She's a meltwater entrepreneur in training, convener of the yearly Learn to Earn virtual event, and founder of Bethel Academy Africa. She recently became a global youth leader focused on SDG 4, and she is a certified Meta Community Manager. Legends and Warriors, Patience Ayeni. Welcome to the show, dear warrior.
Okay, this is really interesting. Hello, everyone. My name is Patience Ayeni. I am a warrior, right? In the growth Jedi community or something. I don't know, but that's really interesting. A very, very powerful intro. Thank you for having me here. Such an honor to be here today. Thank you.
Amazing. So, today we're covering building, managing, and maintaining relationships with social media. But before we fully engage, I'm sure our listeners are curious. You seem to have done so much. You're a creator. I'm sure you're juggling many things at the same time. SaaS marketing, tech entrepreneurship, Bethel Academy. The list goes on and on. I can see you blushing. The list does go on and on. And so I'm sure listeners are curious, how exactly would you say this subject of relationships is important or has been important in or instrumental in your journey to achieving everything that you've achieved so far?
Okay, first of all, for all those many things that you read out, I would say I can do all things through Christ. So basically, that's my mantra. And so for relationships, I mean, today I was studying and I saw how there's no great work that has been done alone. So that's something I have understood. But today it was just concretized because even when you look at people who build great companies, stories in the Bible, there are at least one or two persons. Nobody just does things alone. So I've always believed that networks, communities are really very important for the success of any idea, person, or mission. So for me, building communities and network just started from a genuine perspective of wanting to meet people and know them and be helpful, useful, be a ray of sunshine to them. For some of the persons that I've met that have become very important in my life, it was just a hi, hello, and we just understood each other based on a common ground, maybe a similar interest in tech or a similar mission, because I'm really passionate about tech, education, media, and when people meet people that have similar passions, similar values like they do, they are quick or not very quick though, but they are more open and receptive to a relationship or friendship.
Mm. Okay. So you mentioned something, I think I'm tempted to call it the hello moment. Yes, I'm tempted to call it the hello moment. And I'm just curious. I'm asking on behalf of listeners. I'm sure very curious. What exactly do you do in that hello moment? I'll give an example. I'll paint a picture for us to have context. Typical hello moment. You're at a networking event or at a conference, and there's this speaker. He just spoke powerfully, delivered the message, connected with the audience. Probably is a mega influencer online. And then you have the opportunity, by some twist of fate, to meet that person as they are exiting the conference venue, right? And there's you, there's the celebrity, influencer, mentor to be, mentor could be. What do you do in that moment?
In order not to overthink things, right, the first step is usually to know who you are meeting. It's not just to be all excited and then go and meet them. You have to know when you should have the hello moment, because there are certain times where you see people and you just know you have to be able to read the room, read their own communications, non-verbal communications, because if they are stressed, if they are tired, they might not want to meet a new person at that moment. So you have to actually be very guided to know when to meet people. And again, this is very important, and a lot of people often overlook this. It's important to know who you want to meet, because then you will know where to start a conversation or how to start a conversation, So you want to ensure, if you haven't done that research, you're not going to just jump in front of someone and just say, hi, I'm this. Literally, on a normal note, nobody really cares who you are. They really care about themselves. So even if you want to do a hello to a new person, you want to make sure you are starting from a level ground. Maybe you say, maybe you've read a book by them, maybe you've read an article, maybe you've subscribed to their email newsletter or something, or attended an event. Then you can say, oh, hi, thank you for this day. And that already sets like a pace for the conversation or for the hello. Because many people make a mistake. I've met people that just like run off to people and say, hi, I'm this person, I do this. And I'm like, nobody really cares, seriously. So you want to actually start from a great entry point, and you have to be careful because you only make a first impression once.
Okay, I think that's very true. I'm curious again. We're very curious in this our planet that you see.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, could you share one story, two stories, any kind of example that you can highlight from your own experience? I actually like giving people two types of stories. First type of story is where I messed up, I made a mistake in my ignorance with so much bravado. And another story where I actually did it properly. I got this thing right and it worked out. So, but I'm just curious, do you have stories that you can share?
So I'd say you took that right out of my mind, because I was going to share two instances where I literally, in quotes,
As Jedis, we have telekinesis and telepathy. You can read minds. But it's the truth.
Interesting. So when I was new, of course, new online, new to networking, meeting people and building connections. I mean, it's very different when you are trying to establish a relationship with someone who is up there, where it's like different from what you have with your friends, lecturers, or family members. So first mistake I made was just excited, fluffy greeting of, hi, good afternoon, my name is this, I heard about you. I mean, it wasn't concrete.
Cringe.
It wasn't concrete. And I'm sure they get like a ton of such messages each day. So what will stand you out? So of course I didn't get the reply first time I did that. And now another thing is to exercise patience and be very empathetic, because I give a lot of excuses for people. And I'm like, okay, maybe they were busy today. Okay, maybe they've had so much to do. They don't have my time now.
Maybe their phone spoiled.
Oh no, I don't expect that such a person's phone will spoil.
In my mind, I'm like, maybe they stole his phone today. Maybe I go to the extreme. I used to go to the extreme to make excuses. Well, at the end of the day, as you've probably realized, it's none of that. It's usually never any of that.
Yeah, and the second mistake people make is to just say, this person is crap, or this person is feeling themselves and snobbish. They don't want to, exactly, snobbish, and they don't want to respond to me. And that's not the case most times. So I took a break, like I didn't send. And another thing you want to not do is overload messages, because you will just end up being blocked. So I waited, began to observe this person across multiple platforms, check what are they doing, what are they posting, what do they talk about. And I attended events, read about the person's write-up and everything. And then the next time I went, I came from a perspective of knowledge. I came from a perspective of appreciation, because you can never go wrong with appreciation. a lot of people do it very fluffy appreciations that is just surface level, but you want to go deep in your appreciation. And one of the ways to go deep in your appreciation is to appreciate somebody for a specific thing. And you don't want to just appreciate somebody for maybe an outward thing, like I appreciate you because you're beautiful or something when you're reaching out to someone for the first time. So you want to appreciate more intrinsic qualities like intellect, or like maybe something they did that you felt you gained something, connected with, impacted you. Yeah, so something more intrinsic. And yeah, most times appreciation is really welcomed by many people. So then I went through that part, and yeah, we started connecting. You also need to understand some people are more formal and some other people are more informal. So is this the kind of person you want to do an LOL with, and this person is fine with stickers and what's it called, memes? So you have to understand all of those things so you can connect to the person. So that was, I found this person now communicated with the person in the way the person should be communicated with. So yes, that worked. But again, the thing is that you win some and you lose some. Actually, there is no hard fast rule, and we are still learning in the process of networking. Because I met someone, I will not call the person's name, but I met someone. This one was a physical meeting, and then I just rushed up to the person out of excitement, like, oh, I've watched you, listened to your TEDx show interview since I was this, and at that very moment I didn't give anything. I didn't like, I was more of a me kind of thing. I spoke literally nothing about the person except for the fact that, well, I was thankful that, I learned a lot from your story, but then it was a bit shallow. And so that person, I feel like I didn't lose the connection, but I didn't exactly build it. So it was just there like that, right? So one of the things, if I would meet someone in a restaurant, because it was like an eatery, a garden sort of, if I would meet someone there again, what thing I'll do is maybe buy the person something or talk less about myself. And maybe you don't want to ask for a selfie the first time because they get people asking for that on a daily basis. So yeah, we're still learning this.
That's incredible. I think we have similar approaches to that, what I call the hello moment. But just moving a bit closer to the next step, right? Or the next item, I would say, you should have in your mind when you're thinking of creating relationships, managing relationships with people. It's this concept, and I think you've touched on it a bit, this concept of honor. So when you say take the time to research someone, or take the time to actually consume their content, find out what they've done, find out what they care about, what their values are, I think to an extent that is actually you honoring that person, taking out the time to. I'm a very big fan of not faking it, right? And the only way to not fake something is to put yourself in that person's shoes, put yourself in a situation where you honestly appreciate the volume of work that this person has done, quality of work that this person has done. But I'm just curious to know, how else do you think around this issue of honor?
Okay, so we're breaking out my 3-part framework, which is the hello, honor, and honesty. So yeah, haven't gotten the hello part, you want to do the honor part, like you said, and it's very honorable, like you said, doing the research about the person you want to meet and
I'm sure
knowing.
there's more. I'm sure there's more to just taking out the time to research.
Research, yes. Honor comes, I really don't know how to explain honor because it literally comes from the heart. You can't exactly fake it. Well, for me, I would know if honor is faked because honor is beyond just bowing heads and bowing knees. So you genuinely honor this person and they will know. It's just like an energy that is emitted. People know when you genuinely honor them and they know when you don't genuinely honor them. So you want to try as much as possible to, well, for me, I would say don't fake honor. Like just be very real with genuine in terms of what you're saying. Don't exaggerate. Talk about what you are saying honestly, almost moving to honesty now. And honor is also, it's just like how Jesus in the word of God, it will be like, for God so loved the world that he gave, if you honor somebody, most times you give. When I talk about give now, it doesn't necessarily have to be monetary or physical gifts, even though those are great. And I will advise you also do that. Add it to your honor list. Have a list of items you can buy and everything. That's very good. But you can honor people in other ways. If you don't have money to buy anything, you can honor people with your words, kind words. Yeah, you want to never run out of kind words. You can honor people with service. They are doing something, volunteer to join them or help them, market it, promote it to your people. You don't have 10,000 followers, but you have 100 followers. Share it to those people. One of them might attend. The person will appreciate it. You can also honor via, what else again? So I've talked about volunteering. I've talked about kind words. Just being there, being a listening ear for the person. Like you want to ask questions, like real questions, and actually follow those, whatever advice is given you. So obedience is a kind of honor. So if you ask somebody a question, you want to ensure that you're following what the person. If not, don't ask, because you don't want people to waste their energy and then you use it to do nothing. So it's very tricky. And then as young people, we want to do what's on our mind, right? But you also have to have a balance of that honor relationship.
I learned this a while back as well, still on the subject of honor. If you can find ways to figure out when this person's birthday is, this person's anniversary is, maybe their marriage anniversary or business anniversary or their birthday, and if you can surprise them with something, no matter how small, they will appreciate it and they won't forget that thing. So, but you mentioned it's a 3-part framework. So we've talked about hello, we've talked about honor. I think you mentioned the last one was honesty. So speak to that a bit.
So honesty is like the gum that glues it all together, because honesty glue. I'm just imagining the packaging right now and the brand. Alright, so honesty is what will keep the relationship, your authenticity. And most times is what will, in the very early days of the relationship, those are the things that will be the foundations. Those are the things that will solidify your hello, solidify your honor, being honest in your conversation. Again, people can detect when things are fake. Yes. So even if you are saying you're appreciating somebody, be careful not to turn it into empty hype. Even when you're honoring people, there are a lot of people that I call by name. Like maybe other people call them by other things, maybe titles or something. But I call them by name. But they know I honor them. So sometimes honor is not just sir and ma. There are certain people, I call them sir sometimes or ma sometimes, and I call them their names. So it's more like I have a kind of understanding, just like you're relating with God as Father, God as Lord, God as in many aspects. So a lot of my beliefs and principles are streamed from the Bible. So when I'm relating, for instance, you, now if I'm relating with you when we are working, for instance, and maybe you are the team lead, CEO or something, I'm relating with you in that workspace as my boss, right? I will not mistake it for if I'm relating with you as a friend. So at that point in time, my conversation and communication is going to be different. And when I'm relating with you as a friend, hey, I can come and give you a WhatsApp, a high five. I can send you memes like that. So you want to be able to know how to relate with people as mentor, as friend, in all those categories and all those levels at different times.
And being sincere about it.
Exactly. It's a bit tricky, but it's very doable.
I think it's like a muscle you develop, you build it with practice.
Exactly.
The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been blessed, I would say, to have experienced some of the benefits that come when you are able to build, manage, and maintain relationships with social media. But I usually tell people that a lot of the things that I did, a lot of the opportunities that I was able to take advantage of, came to me before I even started being active on social media. How? Why? It was because of the relationships that I had.
Yes.
So it brings to bear this concept that it is what you do offline that you take with you online.
Oh yeah, that's very, very true.
You see? Yeah. The fact that you are on LinkedIn does not automatically mean that you will know how to connect with people. It does not automatically mean that your communication skills are going to be excellent. Same thing with any of these social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, etc.
Yeah.
The networking, what we call networking, it's really just, sometimes I look at it like a different language, a different way to just say being a real person.
Yeah.
Being someone who can communicate, someone who can honor and respect people for what they are, who they are, and someone who can bring value to the table, right? Because in addition to everything that you've mentioned, your 3-part framework, I think somewhere in my framework, I don't have it, all. How do you call something when you've made it an acronym? Like you have the 3 H's. I don't have the 3 H's, but in my framework, there is this component of being valuable to this person. And so if you are valuable, it doesn't matter if you're on social media yet. Social media is very good. I see it as an amplifier. But if you are not able to show this person, oh, okay, I'm not just here as dead weight. I'm not just here for an autograph, right? In that framework of mine, there's that portion of being valuable. So usually how I do my hellos sometimes is a combination of being appreciative, like you've mentioned, but somehow I'm able to communicate, oh, I notice you are doing this. I can help you with this, right? So that immediately they understand that, okay, this person can bring something to the table. So now it becomes kind of like a value exchange. Definitely their value may be much higher than mine, but at least they know that, oh, okay, if I ever need someone to maybe run ads for me, for instance, I know I can call Val, right? But we're running out of time. We're about to wrap up for this episode. But very quickly, I just want to say a big thank you to Patience Ayeni. If you haven't followed her already, her Instagram handle is the Patience Ayeni, which is one word, no underscores. You can find her on Instagram, follow her. She also has a newsletter on Substack. So you can head over to patienceayeni.substack.com. Sign up for the newsletter that she releases. How often?
I'm trying to release it every 2 weeks.
Every
month.
Every fortnight then.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Check it out. Check out her newsletter on Substack. Check her out on Instagram. On Twitter, she's @patienceayeni_. That is @patienceayeni_. You'll be glad you did. You can come back and thank me later. But for now, I'd like to say thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up. And as always, stay strong and keep growing.